Luxembourg, in the centre of Europe, and the city in which Robert Schumann, the so-called father of modern Europe, was born. Its peaceful present follows a turbulent past, but now it provides a refuge for our rally-starved sportsmen.
Rallying has literally been driven out of Ireland by foot-and-mouth disease, and RPM, in the first of a series of foreign tours, has followed the faithful here to Luxembourg. A dozen dashing Irish crews have gathered in the duchy, but it would seem like we haven't quite got rid of our bovine difficulties just yet.
Just when we wanted to forget about Daisy's hoof and mouth ulcer problems, they've plastered the pavements with mad cows in an otherwise extremely subdued land. The rally is based 15 kilometres to the east of the capital, and heading the Irish invasion is the 1999 Tarmac rally champion Ian Greer with Dean Beckett in their Toronto DePaul Toyota Corolla WRC, which is only on its third outing in the Hillsborough driver's hands.
6 weeks ago, when we were thinking about the Circuit of Ireland, who ever thought the weekend after the circuit we'd be in Luxembourg, and we're here, and the weather's beautiful, and we're having a great time. I'm confident the car is good, and the team has made a few improvements to the car, and we'll give it a go and see what happens.
Ian is seated at number 4. Seated one behind the former national and Tarmac champion is the Belfast rally car trader Derek McGarrity.
Derek, in the background we see a very different scene to Ireland.
Yeah, it's definitely not what we're used to, Plum, but yeah, we're looking forward to it. It should be good in here.
Another brand new car from McGarrity. What's this one?
Well, it's a pro drive car, you know, it's a 2000 specification car. The car's good, the car's very good, but a bit rusty, as Ian and everybody else will be. As you know, it's a long time since we did a rally, so we're all going to be rusty, whereas these guys will probably be a bit more switched on.
Derek is in the Pirelli-backed WRC Impreza. Eamon Boland is starting at number 9 in the NVD Subaru.
Anthony, this is a new experience for Eamon, and of course a new experience for you.
Yeah, yes indeed, it's nice to try something new. Obviously with the situation at home as regards to rallying, we decided to try our hand and come out on the continent here and see what it's like. So yeah, we're really looking forward to it. We have a comprehensive recce done, and we'll just see how it goes.
Tim McNulty's Impreza has a very special number plate.
Of course, the rally fans that will be looking at this programme will be looking at your motor car very closely, because there will be a registration plate that will mean a lot to a lot of them.
That's right, R555 FEL, ex-Bertie Fisher. Yeah, it's a great car, a fantastic car to have and to drive, and God be good to Bertie. I hope I can drive it anyway half as good as he could.
The Irish National Group N champion Patrick Elliott starts at number 12 in his ex-Doherty Brothers Group A Impreza. And heading our Group N entry is Clonmel's Roy White in the FESP Mitsubishi Evolution 6. He's on his second continental visit this year.
Roy, all this travel has come about, of course, with the crisis at home, but it's giving you some tremendous opportunities.
Yeah, it's given us an opportunity to come here to Europe and see what it's like against some of the best guys in Europe.
Because you've had recent experience yourself in Belgium.
Yeah, we did the circuit there then about 4 weeks ago.
And it's a fabulous result. What, 3rd in Group N and what overall?
6th overall and 3rd in Group N, and first non-Belgian home. So it was a great result. We were very happy.
The Group N opposition here is enormous. The 2 Belgian Marlboro Mitsubishis of Francois Duval and David Croit, Piet Bevelds from the Netherlands, and Bob Koelsel, son of a very famous Belgian rally father, Guy Koelsel, who's been seen on the Irish stages in the past. We also have a Group N greenhorn from Cumber, in the middle of the Luxembourg entry.
To say you're a novice at your age is a bit ridiculous, but you are a rally novice.
Yes, we've only just started. I've been karting for years and car racing, as you know, for 27 years. And I just decided to have a go at rallying before it's too late.
And this is going to be your 5th rally, and it's going to be a European Championship event. That's jumping into the deep end.
Well, we decided to go for the Irish Tarmac Championship, and unfortunately, with the foot and mouth, the circuit was cancelled. And then the opportunity to come here arose, and this is a very big event to try and come into it for the first time.
Sean Keenan may be twice Tarmac Formula 2 champion, but he's a novice in Europe and a novice in a four-wheel drive Group A car.
Sean, this is a very beautiful new car to you.
It is, yeah. We're quite looking forward to getting out in the stages tomorrow. We've had a little run on the car before we came out here, but totally new for me, moving up from Formula 2 to four-wheel drive. So it should be interesting.
Robert Woodside is here in his Puma kit car. And Kenny McKinstry has brought his WRC Impreza to the Luxembourg Mountains for English driver Jim Harrison to sample. Patrick Price completes the Irish interest at number 34 in his Mitsubishi.
Of the Irish invasion of this event?
Yeah, a lot of people from your country.
And do you know anything of the history of them in rallying?
No, I don't know them. Nobody. So I don't know how they drive.
This is hairpin country, so you have to be extremely handy with the handbrake. And that's another new technique for our local lads to learn. Roger Heck is not at number 2 because he's the homeboy, but because he's an FIA B-seated driver, even if he is only in a Group N car. This particular conundrum is short-lived as the Luxembourg crew have a mighty shunt on the second stage, causing its cancellation. And Stacey, however, is real opposition. This Subaru Benelux entry is a big step up for the Dutch driver, but he comes to Ettelbruck on a high, having won the rally to Hanout, and he's certainly not afraid of it. Now for the news. Jan Greer has posted fastest time on the first stage, 1 second quicker than the Belgian champion. Rocco restores his honour on stage 2 when he goes ahead with a time 6 seconds quicker than his Irish Toyota rival. But on Gostorf, Jan is quickest again, and this time by 6 seconds, making the Taranto de Paul car 1 second in front by the first service. But we don't actually know this, as the Belgian champion has been giving confused information, and the early bulletins indicate that Rocco is in the lead.
Medium right, into caution, K left.
Michelot Village, and Ian is just loving these stages. You're never more than a kilometre or two from a hairpin out here, but although we're delighted Ian isn't too happy with his opening stages, he feels that the Corolla is still set too high for these smooth roads. The tire pressure is also too high.
it. Quick right, 80. Long tail left, tightens, 80.
And that hairpin technique. Well, there's still a little to learn, but to be leading by a second after losing at least 4 here is very encouraging. Good news from one camp, but I'm afraid very bad news from another. On the start line of the first stage of the event, the Pirelli Subaru has broken a drive shaft. It's devastating for Derek McGarrity and Dermot O'Gorman, who had high hopes of repeating ProDrive's 2000 win when Toshi Arai, now part of their World Championship team, was triumphant in the Luxembourg hills. The car is behaving like a two-wheel drive machine, and they're way off the pace. World Rally cars cost a lot of money a mile. The Belfast driver is considering cutting his losses and putting the Impreza back on the trailer. Now here's a bit of a dark horse. Amongst the myriads of Group N Mitsubishis, this one has got some Group A bits. The Belgian Van Woensel is in 3rd place after 3 stages. And then it's an absolute superstar. Francois Duval also competes in a Super 1600 in the World Rally Championship. I've never witnessed a Group N car driven to greater effect. Just watch him at this hairpin. Duval is in 5th place after 3 stages and 6 seconds ahead of his nearest Group N rival. This is his teammate, David Cruyff, who looks tame in comparison with Francois. Eamon Boland and Anthony Nestor, who clipped the pole here in the NVD Impreza, prepared by Don Buckley, are in 6th place after 3 stages. They could have been higher, but they've reported a brief off on the 2nd stage. Nothing wrong with Eamon's hairpin technique. Tim McNulty is having a difficult time on the opening stages. On his debut run in the Subaru, he's lost 3 minutes when he went off the road on the Burschied stage. He was also stopped at the Heck accident. Patrick Elliott is also new to Subaru and indeed Group A. Roy White and Des Cooney are our leading representatives in Group N. And after 3 stages, they're in 17th place overall and 10th amongst the 30 or more showroom runners.
Left 1 into left 5, into left 5, 40. Right 5 into left 5, 40.
The Tipperary driver is complaining about too much understeer in the FESP Evolution 6, and they have a close one here when they hit ice under the trees.
Left 1 flat, 80, keep on straight.
You can clearly see the understeer here as the Evo pushes its nose. Sean Keenan has the CSE Celica for the event and a little spin here. After the frustration of some scrutineering difficulties, the Galway driver is settling in well to his Group A car. They're in 23rd position after the first 3 stages. Jim Harrison in the McKinstry Subaru breaks a gearbox on stage 2. He's lucky to make service. Patrick Price has a good time on stage 3, but he's back in 43rd place. But Robert Woodside is covering himself in glory and mud by leading Formula 2 in a 1600cc car and lying in 21st overall. After crying rally novice Dickie Curran has delegated the handbrake job to his co-driver Gary Lyons. He's kept busy at the hairpins. They're 27th overall and 12th in Group N.
Ian Greer arrives at the first Ettelbruck service of the Luxembourg Rally, and the main task will be to lower that suspension. But the big question is, will this be the last stop for the McGarrity Subaru?
This shouldn't happen, Plum. First stage, start line of the first stage, drive shaft brakes, and then it shouldn't happen.
So how far are you behind at this stage?
2 minutes plus. We're dropping, the car has been in front wheel drive for the first 3 stages, and as you would know, with one of these in front wheel drive, it's just a pure disaster.
So what are you going to do?
The sensible thing to do is knock it in the head and go home, but I don't know what to do. We'll study the data here and see just what damage it has done. It's probably scrapped the centre diff, but we'll try and see.
As the Corolla's ride height is lowered, Ian is surprisingly downbeat about his great opening performance.
First stage 2 seconds slower than the guy in the Corolla in front of us there, so and we certainly weren't happy with our tyre choice. But it's encouragement, and we're going to do the adjustments now and go back out again, and let's try and go a bit harder in these next 3.
Team Beckett has not been happy with Rocco trying to pull the wool over their eyes. As the Irish resettle their cars, we are relieved to learn that Derek McGarity and Dermot O'Gorman have decided to continue. The first 3 stages are repeated, and if it wasn't for the smooth roads, you could almost be in Ireland. There are certainly plenty of familiar faces in the crowd. Stage 4, and this time Ian improves his first run by 6 seconds to increase his lead to 3 seconds. Jan is obviously making new friends in Luxembourg. On stage 5, he's fastest again, 21 seconds faster than his first run, and more importantly, another 3 up on the Belgian. By their second visit to service, the Irish champions are 7 seconds in front. Theunissen is certainly trying, but quite why he's switched on his headlights is anybody's guess. This guy is being rattled by the stray Toyota that has trespassed onto his patch. Stacey is a solid third, 34 seconds behind the Toyotas. And that stretched Group N car, driven by Van Wensel, is a further 13 seconds back in 4th. Croyce is being caught by Eamon Boland on the Borschild stage. The Wexford driver is trying to make up for the time he spent off the road in the first loop, but it would seem that the NVD Subaru is addicted to grass. The brilliant Duval continues to lead Group N in 6th place overall. He's wagging his tail at his nearest rival, Pete Bevelts, but he's only now 21 seconds behind in the white car. McGarity is recovering. After 6 stages, the Pirelli car is back up to 8th. It's a demoralised team, however, and Derek is still not happy with the handling of the car. You would always expect the Belfast driver to be in the top 3, yet the best he can do today is a 5th fastest time on the Michelot stage. Tim McNulty is also climbing back, and he will make it into the top 20 shortly. Patrick Elliott is not so happy. He is upset by his first loop performance. Sean Keenan is another in the Group A learning curve, and he copes nicely with the hairpin. Robert Woodside and Chris Patterson have slipped into 2nd in Formula 2, but they still lead their class. But the Irish Army are about to lose another one of their troops. Roy White and Des Cooney have slipped to 18th overall and 9th in Group N with a number of mistakes. Oops, there's another one. The damage is minor, but the excursions are now coming thick and fast.
Left 360, turn hairpin right. This is very, very tight here, right? from hairpin right.
The entertaining Tipperary crew will retire in the next service area with a blown clutch. Jim Harrison is also about to join the retirements when he ditches the McKinstry Subaru. After 6 of the 18 stages, 9 of our travellers remain, and with 3 in the top 10, there's plenty to shout about.
After 6 of the 18 stages in this European Coefficient 2 event, there's a major upheaval in the centre of Europe. Belgian rally champions Rocco Theunissen and Erwin Mombaerts, the hot favourites prior to the start, are trailing by 7 seconds after the first 2 runs through the morning test in the Burschiet Mountains. Rocco is not a happy chappie. What makes it worse for the Europeans is that they're being led by a complete unknown to them, who's driving an identical WRC Corolla. The occupants of the Taranto de Paul Toyota, however, are very well known to us: Ian Greer and Dean Beckett, the former national and international Irish rally champions. The other lads from home are a little less lucky. Derek McGarrity and Dermot O'Gorman in the Pirelli Subaru have broken a drive shaft on the start line of the very first stage. They languish in 5th place, 3 minutes behind the leaders. Eamon Boland and Anthony Nestor in a similar NBD Impreza have been off the hard stuff and are currently in 4th place. Tim McNulty has also strayed in the ex-Fisher Group A car and lies in 6th. Sean Keenan is enjoying his Group A debut and has clocked in 25th. Robert Woodside has slipped to 2nd in Formula 2 but leads his class in the kit car Puma. But we've lost Roy White while he was 9th in Group N amongst the multitudes of Mitsubishis.
It's back into the land of endless hairpins and fairy tale castles as we go deeper into the mountains for the final 4 stages of the first day. The Siebenaller and Wilts tests are marathons by Irish standards, being 18 and 24 kilometres in length. The Belgian is expected to reply, but Ian is now very much at one with his lowered motor, and the Hillsborough driver is gathering a whole new continent of admirers as he increases his lead by a further 10 seconds over the 18 kilometres of the most northerly stage. It's not easy out there. Just look at the snow on the side of the roads and the drops.
Left drops, 30.
On the 24-kilometre Wilts test, Jan Geer, as the locals are calling him, is 4 seconds quicker again. And there's more snow and ice. Not easy when it occurs on one of those hairpins.
Fast left 80, long K left into a 30.
After 8 stages, Ian and Dean have a lead of 22 seconds. Rocco just simply cannot match his Irish opponent. In fact, he's not even second fastest on the 7th test of the day. That honour goes to Hans Stacey. But the Belgian does not complain of car problems, just of that crazy man Greer, who is too fast. The amiable Benelux driver, Hans Stacey, is certainly getting the hang of his World Rally car. He's just 5 seconds down on Greer on the Siebenaller stage, and he drops 8 seconds on the 24-kilometre Wilts endurance run. After 8 tests, the 1999 WRC Spec Subaru is over half a minute behind the leading Toyota, and Hans is not averse to the odd shortcut. Eamon Boland in the 2000 spec car is in 4th place, with a further half minute adrift after those early morning excursions. Still, the Wexford driver is a happy man and enjoying his sport. It's better than sitting at home, says the NVD driver, and the locals are just loving it. Derek McGarty and Dermot O'Gorman's unhappy weekend is about to come to an end after only 8 stages. Although Derek posts 4th fastest times on both tests of the Northern Loop, he is unhappy with the car's handling. Both he and Dermot are having to hold the car in gear, and on the return to Ettelbruck, they decide to put the Pirelli Impreza back on the trailer and save their pennies for another day. It's a sad end for this small team, which had high hopes of a good result in the Duchy. Tim McNulty posts a cracker time on stage 7 in the Pierce construction car, 6th fastest in fact. But he is now getting a little overconfident, and on the next test he becomes the 3rd Irish retirement. Tim, it's been a long way to come to have a disappointment like that.
It is, Plum, yeah, but we got the tyre choice right after I think it was the 2nd or 3rd service. We were having a really good cut of the stages, put in a good time, and then went out on the 3rd last stage just before service, and we're absolutely now on the limits. Came into, I suppose maybe I got too handy at the hairpins and came into one, and it was just a bit slippy, and she stepped out and just done a complete loop and just back down the hill and just hit the driver's side. Not too bad, but a pity to go out of her with just 2 stages to go, and we were really getting the feel for the car and the stages.
Van Wensel's hope also come to a halt at stage 8 when the Group A Evolution decides to turn its last revolution. They retire from 4th place. Bevelts now leads Group A, not Duval, but you would not think it when you watch the talented young Belgian. Francois will have turbo problems in the Charisma GT, which drops him to 4th in Group N, but will give the spectators the added thrill of witnessing a truly stunning recovery drive on the 2nd day. Have you ever seen a Group N car go faster? Niels goes Dutch, and he is, and that's on stage 8. And Jean de Winkel, no relation to Wee Willie, leads Formula 2 in the X-Works VW kit car. Robert Woodside's Zeta Racing Puma has dropped from 19th to 24th after an adventurous day.
I misheard a note on the last stage. We came down a very, very fast section into a square right, and I misheard it, and there was a gap. So we just went straight out through the gap into the field, and the little car's so low it just got stuck.
There are other heroes like Pascal Ascham from Luxembourg, 28th overall in a Corsa. And the interesting new Fiat Punto Super 1600, driven by Fassbender, could be going a little faster. He's in 28th place. Patrick Elliott completes the first day in 15th place and plans for softer tyres in the morning. Sean Keenan's Maltus Computers Celica will join the list of Irish retirements when the turbo goes. The Galway driver had been in the top 20. Dickie Curran and Gary Lyons with that handbrake double act. The rally novices are enjoying their first international event and putting in an excellent performance in 23rd place and 11th in Group N.
60, 3 left plus opens.
It's a very long day. I don't think I've driven as many competitive miles in the one day. It started this morning, it's been non-stop since, and we're just finished now, but I've really enjoyed it.
You're not wondering why you didn't come to this branch of the sport before?
No, I know why, and it's starting to hurt my pocket now.
Patrick Price is our other survivor in 33rd place. And so at the end of the first day, Duval has given himself a lot to do in Group N, and he is now 2 minutes behind the leader. Dutch drivers Mascant, 6th overall, and Bevelt, 5th overall, lead the Sholem category. And Eamon Boland and Anthony Nestor give us 2 Irish representatives in the top 4.
We didn't
didn't make a great start this morning. We went into the field once or twice and there's not much damage done. We just made a bad start.
Right, so the times are coming good now.
Yeah, not too bad on the last 3 or 4. We weren't that far away, really.
The other WRC Subaru is over 2 minutes ahead, and Hans has a healthy respect for the continental visitors.
I like competition. If you're driving a rally and there is no competition, it's no use of driving the rally. Whatever, yeah, you need competition, but the Irish driver which is in front is very fast.
Theunissen continues to drop time, leaving him 35 seconds down at the end of the first day. So it's been a pretty good battle all day.
Yeah, quite good. Only second.
Are you surprised?
A little bit. He's fast. Yeah.
And I'm a Belgium champion, to come here to an event that you've been before, it must be a bit of a surprise.
Yeah. But I heard it's similar as in Ireland. This stages. He told to me so bumpy and so.
We would consider these stages in Ireland very smooth. In Ireland it is really bumpy.
Yeah, I was never in Ireland, in Ireland, so I don't know. But he's a good driver.
So what is your plan for tomorrow?
I hope to pass him.
It has been truly a remarkable day for the Toronto de Paul man, who has discovered just how capable a driver he is on his first foreign event. "35 seconds up, that's very nice."
It's a nice, comfortable lead, but you know yourself in rallying, anything can happen, so we'll not get too confident just yet. With difficult stages tomorrow, so and the morning stage is always the toughest one, so keep our fingers crossed and hopefully we can hold on.
The 18-kilometre Groningen test starts the second day of the Tour of Luxembourg, followed by 13 kilometres of Ponstrom and 8 kilometres of the very twisty Wilderveld stage. 39 competitive kilometres before returning to central service in Ettelbruck. Greer is a little slow to wake up on the first test of the day and drops 6 seconds to his rival. He retrieves 3 of those on the next test and a further 4 on the third, to the relief of his strong Irish following, who'd worried about a counter-attack. The roads are drier today, and the smooth surfaces suit both Ian Greer and the Toyota. Rocco is really racing, and despite a 50-metre overshoot on the Garlingen stage, where he was 6 seconds faster than anyone, his efforts to claw back that 35-second deficit are thwarted when the Irishman gets on the pipe. The attack has come for Belgium's number 1, and it's been rebuffed for the time being at any rate. Stacey is flying today. He's second to Rocco on stage 11 and equal fastest with Ian on stage 13. The Dutch driver's move up from a Group N to WRC car is being accomplished without any problems. But for spectacle in a Subaru, however, it's hard to match our Eamon. Bevelds continues to lead Group N from fellow Dutch drivers Maaskant and Dean. But they're all aware of the closing Duval, who's 4th quickest overall on stage 11, 3rd quickest on stage 12, and 5th quickest on stage 13. That's Bob Coulsel in 5th place in Group N. Bob Barry will shortly retire his Group A Mitsubishi. Patrick Elliott has received a 2-minute penalty for being late out of Parc Fermé this morning. But Dickie Curran and Gary Lyons are happy bunnies, posting times inside the top 20 on their international debut.
Into 3 left minus, 30 and 4 right. $100, right 60 left.
Robert Woodside and Chris Patterson have moved up 3 places in 3 stages in the overall order. After servicing, it's that 39-kilometre loop all over again as the pressure builds in the Toronto de Paul camp. Theunissen has done it again on the Garlingen stage, this time by 7 seconds. When the Belgian takes a further 2 back on stage 15, there's cause for concern. This man just doesn't give up. He's clawed back 9 seconds in 2 tests, and with 3 stages to go, the gap is down to 26 seconds. Stacey continues in third. He's now mixing times with the TTE machines. While Eamon is assaulting the Luxembourg countryside. There's a party in Vilverwilt's village with stages 13 and 16 starting right in town. Frankfurters and burgers to go. Dean Beckett knows that this is a crucial stage for his driver. He must stop Rocco's second attack, as there are still 51 competitive kilometres left in this rally. The Ian Cuddy prepared car rockets out of the village to stop the clocks 5 seconds ahead of the Belgian. There are just 2 stages to go now, and 32 seconds separate the 2 Toyotas. A puncture can change everything. The Tarmac Tour has been an outstanding success. Luxembourg is loving the presence of some new faces. The Irish are just glorying in their territory. It's almost as if someone had taken the Irish stages and put a steamroller over them. Robert Woodside is among the visitors who've gained valuable experience. At service, the top men prepare for the final shootout over 2 runs of the Bursheet stage.
It's difficult to know how hard to go. As I say, I wouldn't want to go much harder than what I'm going at the minute. But we've come so far now, and we don't want to lose it, and we certainly don't want to hand it to this guy. So we'll give it our best shot and see what happens.
Can Rocco come back again at this late stage?
It's a tall order for 2 more stages to go, but obviously you're going to keep the pressure on.
Yeah, keep the pressure on. We have now 42 kilometers to go, so it can happen a lot. So
we can expect maximum attack.
Maximum attack. Yeah.
There's a little corner of Ireland in a foreign field that's extremely excited about the outcome of the next 42 kilometres as Jan Greer approaches Bursheet village at high speed. James Cullen checks the watch. Ian is 5 seconds up on Theunissen. It will be 7 seconds by the end of the stage. The gap is now to 40 seconds. Surely that's enough to finally break Rocco's spirit. Eamon Boland approaches Bursheet in a comfortable 4th. But things are never comfortable in rallying. Listen to the gear change. Disaster just around the corner. The MVD Subaru is stuck in gear. Borvelts goes through leading Group N, and there's frantic work going on. Nestor is literally jacked. The ever-cheerful Eamon emerges after the emergency repairs.
Is it working, Eamon?
It's only in first gear, I think.
Right. You can get her off the stage, though?
Oh, yeah, we'll get home on here.
The Price pair eventually make it home in 32nd position. Robert Woodside and Chris Patterson are a delighted 18th after some fairly scary moments along the way. A small mistake here, but an excellent 16th place for the Cumber driver Dickie Curran.
Lovely. 60.
Whose double act with Gary Lyons and the handbrake has paid dividends. They end up 7th in Group N out of 30 starters. Eamon and Anthony do make it to the finish, but sadly back in 14th place. And Patrick Elliott has left his attack too late. He finishes 13th. Francois Duval makes it into 5th overall, but 2nd in Group N by just 1 second. And Group N honours therefore go to Netherlands Group N champion Pete Bevelds. Hans Stacey has been 3rd all the way, and Rocco Theunissen, a fine driver in Europe, has learnt this weekend just how competitive things are in Ireland. You're a little bit disappointed, are you?
No. He's a very good driver on asphalt, and he was faster. So I never heard about him. Nobody in Belgium and Luxembourg.
And so our Irish heroes reel off the final kilometres on their way to one of the most significant Irish rallying achievements since the glory days of Paddy Hopkirk and Rosemary Smith.
I really can't believe it, John. I think you said to me there 40 years ago what your thoughts when I said it's certainly getting tight, but like, in all fairness, these guys, you look at TV and you see them in European Championship and say, God, these boys are quick, and they are really quick, but they stayed ahead and they held it and determined to hold on to it, and here we are.
Truly a great day for the Irish, and particularly for the Hillsborough men, who in their first adventure into the great wide world of European rallying have come home with the big prizes. Promotion, presentation and organisation of the Tour of Luxembourg have been exemplary. And now the Tarmac Championship regulars know that their reputation has soared on the international stages of Europe thanks to Jan Geer's victory.